Hi everyone! My name is Hayley Fitzgerald and I'm a doctoral student in Boston University's clinical psychology program. This video is about a skill called behavioral activation, which is a concrete skill that we can use to boost our moods. It involves purposely engaging in pleasurable and rewarding activities. Behavioral activation is useful to use when we're experiencing low moods or tough emotions like sadness, when we want to maintain or strengthen staying in a more positive mood, and for those times when we're having a hard time getting going, because sometimes action precedes motivation, for those times when we're feeling unmotivated. You might be wondering why this skill would work, and the reason is because there's a relationship between our moods and our behaviors, and this relationship flows both ways. So for example, if you're feeling low or anxious, it's more likely that you'll want to do things like socially isolate or stay in bed. And while that's completely understandable, it also has a good chance of keeping you stuck in those emotions or low mood. And while we can't just snap our emotions away, we do have control over what behaviors we choose to engage in. And if we choose to purposely engage and increase our contact with pleasurable and rewarding activities, that has a good chance of having a positive effect on our moods. To practice behavioral activation, you're going to want to make a list with two columns. In the first column, list things that are fun or pleasurable for you. And in the second column, list things that are important to you. In this context, important means things that would give you a sense of accomplishment, are meaningful, or just need to get done. Here's an example of what my own list of behavioral activation activities might look like. In the first column, I've listed to listen to music, to put on a face mask, to get a burrito from my favorite spot, to read a book outside, and to FaceTime a friend and take a dance class together. Notice that I've been sure to include things that are relatively easy to do. This is because there's a good chance I can do these things even when I don't have a lot of energy or I don't have a lot of time. In the second column, I've listed to practice mindfulness, to clean my apartment, to spend time relearning how to play the piano, to meet a deadline at work, and also to volunteer for a cause that I care about. These are things that would give me a sense of accomplishment and line up with my values or what I find to be important. Next, you're probably going to want to think about how you'd like to incorporate behavioral activation into your own life. For example, some people practice this skill on the fly, which means that when they notice that they're in a low mood or having trouble feeling motivated, they pull out their list of behavioral activation activities. Maybe they saved it on their phone or wrote it down somewhere, and they pick something off of their list to do. But we do know that behavior change is hard, especially if we're experiencing low moods. So something that you can do to increase the odds of incorporating these things into your routine is to plan ahead and create a behavioral activation schedule. Here's an example of my own schedule for this upcoming week. As you can see, on Wednesday, I'm going to practice the piano on my lunch break, and then also in the evening, I'm going to FaceTime with a friend who I haven't caught up with in a while. So there you go. Now you know the basics of practicing behavioral activation. Thanks so much for listening. And also be sure to check out our other videos on effective ways to cope and stay mentally healthy during these challenging times.